Mixing your boy, Asantwa mixing your boy, representing from Pram Pram, Bros Barbecue. Dagadu says, I've taken my seat in Vane Avetime. Emmanuel Houston is in Germany. Good evening, Nana. You're welcome to my office. Efo Mawuli from La Paz. Good evening, Nana. I'm here always at Jiman Joseph Community 9. Seto Fiado inside Bema Camp. In the house, Nana, greetings to those in the house. Dr. Cynthia Tego has registered. Lawyer Martin Pebu has registered. Tony Awuvi from North Kaneshing. Nana Mafu from Community 25. Good evening to you, Ariel Entry. Vivian listening from Lashibi. James Atongo in Boga. James, good evening. Nana Free Air, all of the Peninsula Resort. Isaac James seated in Abokobi says, I'm loudly ready for you. Happy Daniel live from Al Qaza, Southern Lebanon. Marjorie Amedro, I see you. Related happy birthday to you, Esther Yoku. Happy 15th anniversary to the Standpoint. 15 years. I'm still relevant, still represented. Ayuko. And I want to join your program. Eric Makte, Tema represented. Mark, you're most welcome. And this is to the Ga East Municipal Assembly, Peter Balano and Honorable Seth Kisi. This is from Efiasewa Brakatu to you. That's my queen mother. I was sending me a message. Queen mother of the Little Republic. Efiasewa Ampafu Brakatu. start the way we start. Well, you say after me. Until the lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. And you know I'll say that again. Folks, I said until the lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. Hello and welcome to the most opinionated hour on radio and the nation's thought-provoking hour. I am Nana Ansah Kwao IV, Chief of the Little Republic of Akwamu Edumasa. And I say thank God it's Monday. Another wonderful opportunity to meet up and perform one of radio's most important rituals. A ritual that certainly brings food for thought. A ritual that causes a pause for reflection moment. A ritual that connects our African being. Welcome to the ritual I call That's My Opinion. Folks, it's every Monday at this time, so set your clock, set your alarm so you don't miss out, and it's only on Joy 99.7 FM. Our topic today, Ghana in spite of. Ghana in spite of. So let us all gather and make truth good. By this time, you should be sending your notices on your WhatsApp platforms and telling people to get on board, because it's that kind of show today. Log on to Facebook Live, log on to YouTube. Those of you who like to listen and watch the loudmouth, you can get it there. Folks, it's probably the wrong time to treat this topic. But then I think to myself, will there ever be a right time? Has there ever been a right time? So I thought, why not give it a shot? Even though I am not sure I will be able to convince you because of the times you're in, I will approach it with all sincerity, tact, my modest wisdom, and knowledge. Folks, let me take you back to the days of President Atta Mills. God bless his soul. At the time, folks, Ghanaians were so despondent. In fact, let me say, a cross-section of Ghanaians, particularly those on the other side of the fence, when you listen to their radio comments and commentary, it was as though the country was coming to a halt in the next 5 minutes. It was doom and gloom. There was nothing good that could have come from him. Now, let me share some of the comments. And this is just for laughs, because, just to bring my points. I'll share some of the comments just for laughs, right? Now, there was this guy in the UK, right? His usual caller, His name was Oketechie Kwame Opoku-Agyeman. And anytime he would call, he says, "You're from Oketechie Kwame Opoku-Agyeman, Mefrefi Hall." He would always add his location to his name. And he says one time his son came home from school and they were asked to name the president from where you come from, something to that effect. He said when they got to that question, he said to his son, "Tell your teacher it's not applicable. We don't have a president yet." Come here, any president. Can you imagine? Because he was on the other side of the fence. Folks, now there was this other serial caller, right? And he was around Adenta. I've tried and tried. I just can't recollect his name. But he was really, around the Adenta area. Quite popular guy. Now, during one Christmas, he was asked by a radio presenter, as he's called in, Joe, how's the Christmas going in Ghana? And it was like, the chickens are in their coop. Hooting at us as we walk by saying, you can't even buy us to kill this Christmas. To which I mean, you can say, Nipa trim na kuko huro ho, muntumi ntoye nwie, muntumi ntoye nwie, just say, o man no my dia, man kuko kre huru, nipa say, munisika, mode betoye yare. I mean, these were some of the complaints. And this is how, ridiculously they approach it. But it catches on. Good old Sir John in an interview claimed that since Atta Mills became president, the spiciness of pepper had reduced. Papa bedi ade mekokura nye yebio. I mean, Osifisa Atta Mills bedi ade mekokura enye yebio. The spiciness, the heat in pepper had disappeared because Atta Mills was president. Folks, then it was the turn of President Kufuor. And just as he was expected, from the very day he was sworn in, the attacks were on, with similar allegations all throughout his tenure, to the point where even when they found oil, somebody said, oh, no, it's palm kernel oil. It's no crude. It's palm kernel oil. These guys, you can't trust them. I mean, so it was on and on and on, all throughout his tenure. But folks, these little chips on the block, one by one, small bit by small, like a joke and funny, we laugh to it and whatever it is, has created a general perception that Ghana is probably the worst country on the planet. There are some who even think that we are the least developed country in the world. To the point where currently, and this is real, that about 30% of us, if given the chance, will not hesitate to check out. Because this is doom and gloom. There's no hope here. Folks, let me share another story with you. And this was told by Kofi Annan of blessed memory. He said in one of his university class, the lecturer came into class and on the white marker board, he shaded a black circle and asked the class to comment. And as usual, everyone had their descriptions and opinion on this black spot. Some guessed the circumference, others the angle to which it was placed on the white marker board. So after they were all done, the lecturer listened to their answers and reasons. And he asked the class, what about the huge white area on the marker board? Folks, what about the huge white area? All the space around the black spot. Nobody commented on it. How very true. Folks, all too often we zoom into the black spot as though there's no white area. And I feel we may be falling victim to the black spot syndrome, if there's any such thing. Folks, I feel we may be falling victim, if we haven't, falling victim to the black spot syndrome. But folks, this is God's own Ghana, and without a shadow of a doubt, has got favors far and beyond many. Now, I am not spiritual, I'm a prophet, I don't see anything, but I tell you there is something divine about the position, the placement, and everything that happens in this country. We may have our mishaps, our negatives, our, backwardness, whatever it is, but I tell you what, there is still a lot left in God's left own Ghana. We have got favors far and beyond many. Now, I'm not saying that we can do better. I'm certainly not saying that it is acceptable, some of the things going on. No. I'm just saying that in spite of the sickening circumstances that occur, there are white areas. I'm also not saying that we should stop demanding excellence from our leaders. Not at all. Yes, perfection we may not achieve, but excellence we must demand. But in our quest for excellence, we should not condemn the whole country to doom. We may brand ourselves into an oblivion. Folks, the good old United States, which is basically the yardstick of all civilization. If you take heaven out of the equation, the next thing is the United States of America. In the year 2022, folks, they recorded 647 mass shooting. I mean, can you imagine if that happened in Ghana? That students went into 600 schools with machine guns to shoot their classmates. Hey. Folks would have likened Ghana to hell or even worse. Mass shooting in 1 year, 647. And you know what? They still describe their country as the home of the free and land of the brave. Boy. Home of the free and land of the brave. That is still how they brand themselves. Now, those of you who have traveled before, and if you fall sick in America, you will know what it is like when your insurance cannot cover paracetamol or get you a plaster. Now, people say, hey, is this civilization? Something that you can easily walk to a polyclinic and get. You will be shocked the red tape that you will go through. I'm just saying, it is not all rosy. Folks, the average waiting time to see a general practitioner, GP, in the UK, average 2 weeks. I'm telling you that if you're lucky, you must persist, push 2 weeks. And even that, according to the NHS, they have reduced that from 19 weeks. Can you imagine? Just to see a doctor. Folks, cancer patients are waiting about 3 months to see a doctor. Cancer patients. Folks, no matter how bad we are, if you need to see a doctor today, you will and you can. Even without an appointment. Even without an appointment, if you needed to see a doctor today or tomorrow, I am telling you, regardless of wherever you are on the social ladder, you can see a doctor. Yes. A doctor. Doctor face to face. You'll be shocked. But these are the pinnacles of civilization that we yearn to be like. So no matter how bad we are, folks, no one is taking a machine gun to any school to shoot students because they're upset. Not to talk about 600 in a year. Nothing. Home of the free. And you ask yourself, free from what? Folks, when it comes to basic and primary education, now I know some public schools fall short, but many have decent schools, up to what we call the international schools here. Folks are well grounded, and they will ground your word so much. Apart from your basic reading and writing, they will ground your word if you know what I'm talking about. If you're able to give your child a basic education here, half decent basic education here, you're free for life. For your child is disciplined. Come and see Abeku. Just say, to be misbehave. He can't depart from it. He's become I'm sure even in death, he will still be disciplined. That grounding, you won't get it anywhere. And if you can get it outside, unless you're going to some super fabulous school, which you can't even afford. And they'll even look at your family tree and realize, because of your family tree. But you could get it here. Folks, you could get it here. Folks, the ease of banking in Ghana, you'll be shocked. There's the ease of banking, telecommunication. Transferring your phone from your data from this, your number from this port, say a port here, number here. You don't take it lightly. The quality and meaningful life that one can get here. The quality and meaningful life that you can get here. Now, this will amaze you, folks. It will amaze you. But in all our jumping and up and down and castigating the police, the level of safety, security, and freedom, folks, we are number 2 in Africa, apart from Mauritius. The Mauritius crowd them said, that's why they are number 1. Otherwise, Ghana would have been number 1. If you move Mauritius now and come and place them somewhere like in Ivory Coast, Ghana will be number 1. It's just because of their location. That's how come they are. They are number 1. The whole country is just 2-3 families running the whole country with a few migrants working. You're number 1. Yes, the whole of Africa, the safest country. The whole world, we are number 38. We are seeing, we are number 38. Surely there's something to write home about it. Folks, when it comes to peace, this is the most peaceful country. We are number 3 in Africa. So why do you think, in spite of all our bad mouthing, castigating, condemnation, these foreigners are still trooping in? And they sometimes wonder, is it the same country that these guys are jumping up and down on the radio every morning? Most of them arrive with normal wealth, some nearly broke. In a few years, they are millionaires. And when they turn millionaires, they still don't have bodyguards. They still drive to the pubs, they try, they have their nightlife, they go and come, they have their businesses, and some are known that, oh yes, this foreigner owns this entity and he's very rich, and still goes back and forth. And they tune in the radio and they're wondering, so where is all the chaos? Ghana is not safe. And they're thinking, what are they talking about? They wake up 4-5 a.m. in the morning alone, nobody is escorting them, they go for their walks, they are jogging, come back home, going about their businesses with no hassle in this same old condemned or supposedly condemned Ghana. Now, I know this is not a message you want to hear because of the hardships going on and the needless hardship, if I may put it, the needless hardship. But trust me, let us look at the white spaces on the board too. Folks, we must look at the white space on the board because certainly every country's bedrock of development, 2 things, peace and safety. We are ranked highest in the world. One of the major ingredients for development, for growth, for anything, peace and safety, security. And then on top of that, you build. So here we are. In spite of our many tribes and our differences and languages and culture, we are still number 2 in the whole of Africa. 38 in the world. And I'm telling you, 38 in Accra is because those who are, placed on top of us are the same persons ranking it. And yes, we will be somewhere way up there. We would have been somewhere way up there. How much more freedom do we need? Folks, we even have freedom to abuse justice in this country. How much more freedom do we need? But, so there is room. Other than the black spots, there are still white spaces. And I think, yes, while we are demanding excellence, which we should, and we should be aggressive and pursue that excellence, we must also pay attention to the white space on the board. Because some of the youth have just given up. Some of them have not had the opportunity to travel, read wide, or see what's happening. And they probably depend on us for us to tell them that, Joe, you are still in a haven, no matter what you think. You are still in a haven. You can go and come. Nya 3 cities ubenya odokuno edi. Nya 3 cities ubenya dokuno edi. So don't give up. Keep striving. We should also let people know that the issue of, oh yes, I started as a trotro maid, or I was selling phone cards, and then I graduated to phone earpieces, and those things are normal life. Sometimes you hear as though it's a pity story. It is not a pity story. Where did you want to start? You were a student. Where do you want to start? Yes, you start by selling small things, hawking, pitching, whatever it is, to just get you going, and then you go up the ladder. But we have sold those stories as though it is unfortunate. Hey, no, you did trotro here. We are starting a trotro mate. So what? Yes, you have to be a trotro mate. Yes, you have to sell kenke, ice water, something. That's how life starts. So when we change that narrative, they will know that yes, because there are people who are there who can do so many things by thinking, no, unless you give me a blue shirt and a tie and a table in an air-conditioned office, I am not working. So I am saying in spite of, there is still a lot here in God's own Ghana. Well, I think I'll let you have your share. Let you have your say. Mafo Community 25, I see you. Sambat in Gulf City, there you are. Ernesto in Dodowa, I see you. Eric Maktei Tema is present. And the number is 0302 216 541. 0302 216 541. Okay, who's my first caller? Hello, who's my first caller?
Hello, good evening. I hope you're doing well.
I'm very well. Ajimai Joseph, I know this voice.
Yes, I was.
Let me hear you.
Nana, your presentation is sweet, but today I want to make it briefly.
Good.
When you go to my hometown, the Palm One tappers and the farmers are those who are building the houses. For those who are on tie, those putting on tie are renting it. So it's a matter of white color, but difficulties in living. We should change the narrative. God bless you for your presentation.
God bless you for always tuning in, and even bless you more for even calling to contribute to make the show richer. 0302 216 541 Ghana in spite of. Yes, the V8 are annoying us, bloated government sizes is annoying us, but in spite of. Hello, who's talking to me?
Hello, Nana. This is Kobna from the United States.
Kobe, let me hear you. You give me a...
Yeah, today I want to disagree with you. I want to disagree with you on the topic.
Sure.
You cannot, I think you are giving excuse to Ghanaians for us to accept the status quo. The status quo is not good. I don't care whatever you say, but when you compare all the indices,
did you listen to the whole?
When you compare all the indices,
and I'll let you learn.
Ghana is below average.
Okay, did you listen to the whole presentation?
When you do all the comparisons of the indices, Ghana is below average, and it's not like we are even close to average for we to strive for excellence. We are far below. Ask yourself, what is the standard of living? Ask yourself. Ask the Minister for Finance, what is the standard of living of the Ghanaian? It's not just the few people doing well. The standard of living is just not the few people doing well. It's an aggregation of the total population, right? The total is a total population. How is the Ghanaian in the rural area doing? That's the standard of living. And when you take healthcare, right? I'll just take healthcare. Mm-hmm. When you take healthcare and you're saying Ghana is doing well in healthcare, Nana, please, with all due respect, you are not being fair to your listeners. You are not being fair to us. You are not being fair to us. Because when you are in your 60s, when you go past your 60s and you go to Kolebu, you cannot pay for it. You can't pay. I have an experience in my family where my uncle is suffering from a heart disease, and he was asked to pay 400,000 Ghana cedis. How can somebody who is above 60 come up with 400,000 Ghana cedis to do a surgery? In the United States, in the United States, even though your insurance might not be able to cover everything, right? It will be treated as an emergency, right? So the healthcare for seniors will cater for the part, and then you will be treated, and then later you can pay for it. Is that not better than what is in Ghana right now? Ghana is a dead system and not the healthcare system. So please, let's not glorify the status quo.
Thank you very much, Ujam. Today I won't argue with it. Let's 0302-216-541. Say Ghana in spite of. Ghana in spite of. I'm saying with all the Kolebu business or whatever it is, we still have a blessed country. Hello, who's talking to me?
Nana Kwesi.
Nana Kwesi, let me hear you.
Nana, I don't think Ghana is as peaceful as we say it is. So, honestly, maybe the crime rate is even low. The ones that surface and we are able to see are the ones we talk about. What about the many others that we don't see? Me, I'm a Ghanaian, I love my country, but I don't think we are as peaceful as we think it is. So, in spite of using your own way, the peace, the no gun issues, and all that you mentioned, and just like you said, is a bedrock for development. If we have all this, in spite of our issues, then why are we not developing as fast as we should? Because if we have all this, after all that is being taken away from me in taxes, in fact, if I should buy from everywhere, I'm buying from a proper, well-organized shop, I'm paying tax. Indirect tax, direct tax, pay all of this. In spite of all that, the natural resources at my disposal as Ghana, in spite of all that, you see, we have peace, we have all of this. And yet still, it's as if I'm going slower than the pace of a tortoise. And regardless, if we have all of these things that you mentioned, there's no way I'm going to be satisfied knowing this is my situation. Knowing that, just like you said, there's a lot of room that I could just pick on and make it work rapidly, tremendously, and it's not happening. So yes, I wouldn't say I disagree with you. I agree with you, honestly. But regardless, I can never be satisfied. I can never be okay just because we have supposed peace, just because we don't have gun issues. I can never be satisfied, Nana. Because it's not just me. Look, my children, their children's children, all of them are mortgaged. All of them have been used to take loans. So loans that I'll pay and go. They'll pay and they'll go. And what is there to show for? Very little. So honestly, me, I wouldn't disagree with you, but I can never be satisfied, regardless of whatever that we think that we have. Good evening.
Good evening. Okay, now before I take the next caller, now check this out because I'm sure maybe Kwabena also missed this. I said that. Now I'm not saying we cannot do better. I'm certainly not saying it is acceptable some of the things going on. No. I'm just saying in spite of the sickening circumstances that occurs, there are white areas. I'm also not saying we should stop demanding excellence from our leaders. No, not at all. But in our quest for excellence, we should not condemn the country to doom. 0302216541. Hello, who's talking to me?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, my name is King.
Let me hear you.
I'm calling from Kosovo.
Let me hear you, my brother.
I thank you very much about this program you are doing.
Mm-hmm.
May God bless all you people. Yes, definitely. We all hustle before. We all hustle now again. Everybody knows what is going on. We all use 1 CD, 2 CD, 5 CD, running money and all those things before. We all see the way how the currency is going. And for me, I'm very shocked, but I'm not shocked. Because the reason why I'm not shocked is the way I buy pure water 50 pesos. That is how somebody too is going to buy as a minister or MP if the voting is finished. Accra here the whole people buy pure water back 10 cedi. A bag of pure water is 10 cedi. Where are we taking all this kind of problem to? Our leaders, let me tell them, they are all about almost 80, 70, 60, 50 now in government. Is that how the olden days they were born, our forefathers, grandfathers, they treat them before they reach this position? They don't know what is going on the ground. I feel shame for we Ghanaians like this. Ghana must be like this. I feel very big shame every day. I feel like to weep, but there's nobody can even clear my tears. Common sanitation says we can take care of flood upon flood, killing people. Human beings flood, killing people. There's a fresh blood pouring on this land. And we are taking food from this land again, eating. Is it not the case? We are killing people. We are doing a lot of things, stealing whatever. Secret upon secret. But we cannot take care of it on this land. Are we going or we are punishing ourselves, the human being on this earth? Sometimes when I listen to the pastor praying in the midnight, preaching and all that, I thank him very much. If some of us, we can listen to that in the midnight, you know that something is going on. The Ghanaians must take heart.
Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you. I like your passion. Hello, who's talking to me?
Hi, man. This is Alex from Lebanon.
Let me hear you.
Yeah, sure. So I actually found myself smiling because there's been a few times on which I actually agree with you. And now, but before I move on to a main submission, I think we are used to this situation where when we watch movies on this side of the movies from Europe and whatnot, we see the movies portray the best and even the non-existent best in the developed countries. And then we take that to be what developed countries are. And then when movies are shown of Africa in the Western world, it's mostly about the undeveloped, so the very native, side of Africa, primitive side of Africa, and then the folks over there also seem to assume that that is what Africa just is. And I think these two narratives I've just given is where we find ourselves this evening, giving the facts we just presented. So it is difficult for us to actually believe or accept that when you want to look at the relevant peace and safety indexes that are used by professional bodies for measuring safety and peace, this is Ghana's standing. And because we feel that, we have our lived realities, we have our own experiences within the country. But believe you me, if you reference the material you are examining and mention topical countries in the Western world that are on the list, we would find it so easy to believe because we hear about these countries, about how good they are. We watch them on TV and we see the best of them. But we also don't live there to actually know that just as there are negative things happening here, there are negative things happening over there. I'm yet to know a country in the world, with my limited knowledge, whose police force or service has no challenge in relation to how they manage crime in country, whose military force or service has no crucial challenge in relation to how they manage situations in the country. I'm yet to hear of a particular country in which things are so good that it's burglary free. It's non-existent. So, in as much as I hear the likes of Kobe and Co., and we ought to be careful, because if I was listening right from the beginning, this has not been an indication on an instrument for determining the best country in the world. I think the parameters were set in relation to safety and peace. If I'm wrong, correct me.
You're correct.
So if these were the parameters that were set, then I don't think we should go and muddy the parameters by bringing in other levels of difficulties or inequalities that we have in the country. Let's recognize the fact that when it comes to peace and safety, this is Ghana's value. Let's uphold that. Let's cherish that, whilst we also look at improving the other elements or indexes of our country. Thank you.
That's it. 0302216541. Hello, who's talking to me?
Hello, Nana.
Yes, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Nana, your son, Godson.
Let me hear you, my brother.
Nana, I've been away, but I'm back.
Good.
Yes, and it's good to listen to you one more time. Nana, please, I have some few questions. My question number one is that, Nana, are you saying the fundamentals are right in this country?
No.
Okay. So that's not the assertion, because that's the understanding I'm getting.
No.
You are saying that the fundamentals are right.
That's why I use Kofi Annan's story that the lecturer put a black spot on a white marker, and the whole class zoomed in onto the black spot, describing how the black spot was. Some said it's 3 meter in diameter. This, that. Some said it's to the right angle of the whiteboard. But the teacher said, "What about the white space around the black spot?" And that's what I'm saying, that even though we have our challenges and leaders, taking decisions that are not right and everything, in this same country, there are people coming in empty and yet still making millions and living free and living happy and writing home to their brothers and sisters that they found a paradise. So how can we be living here and others are telling people that they have found a paradise?
Nana, you remember I was in Boom doing my national service.
Right.
That ended in, let's say, latter part of 2021. Mm-hmm. Since that time till now, I've not gotten a job. As somebody who studied business administration, accounting, I have to find a private school to be teaching mathematics so I can be able to pay my rent. I can be able to feed myself. Now, if I were to have been in US, would I almost 2 years be still looking for a job? Let alone even maybe think of further studies or something.
Okay, now let me just chip in this quickly. Now, if you were in US, while you were doing studying, you'll be cleaning a shop, you'll be a security man to some Walmart or something. You'd have to do menial jobs to sustain yourself, and then when you get your degree, you move on. So yes, I understand that maybe here after your degree, it took you too long to find a job. But also I am saying that doing menial jobs to sustain yourself as a student is normal life. And yeah, it's nothing that but here we condemn it. So people don't want to start life by selling phone cards and hustling. You have to hustle.
Nana, I want to think of it this way. That what the great Kofi Annan of blessed memory said is actually the opposite of what's happening in this country, where we have a blackboard and a white paint in the middle, and everybody's talking about the white paint in, this evening's program. that rather we are not seeing the blackboard. Because, Nana, the hustle is real. All those surviving and making it in Ghana are foreigners mostly. And these are people who have come with foundations laid from wherever they are coming from. They come with their own money. They come with access to credit facilities from wherever they come from. So they don't come to start from the same level ground that we stand from. They are always above us. That's how they are able to make it. Because in our country here, if you have some money that can establish you, you are likely to make it if only you are serious.
Thank you very much. This is good evening to you, Dr. Collins Ajimai, Department of Psychology in University of Ghana. He says, I've tuned in. Thank you so much. I wish you can call in so I can get your take. Let me tell you another quick story, right? Now, I know a very prominent Ghanaian here who purchased the land somewhere in Akusi, right? Now, it had rained and there was flood, so they couldn't go on the land. So they were waiting for the water to rescind. Now, he says, Nana, one day we went there and to the side of our land, realized there was a farm coming up. And so we asked the guy who sold us, but who are they? And he said, there are some Chinese people. He said, but how did they get there? He said, well, when they get here, they roll their trousers up and walk through the mud. They rolled their trousers up and walked through the mud to go and work. They were not waiting for the land to dry. Where these Ghanaians were thinking, well, young China say, at the China forma, near Kwako started. So, the levels of determination here was different. They all had the same money. They could buy the land. But one was waiting for the mud to dry up. The other walked through it. Hello, who's talking to me?
Jessica.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening, Mama.
You're on air. Who am I talking to?
Emmanuel.
Emmanuel, let me hear
From
you.
Ada. Mama, I disagree.
Good. Let me hear your disagreement.
What is the definition, or what is peace and safety? When I can be in my room, hungry, I cannot afford food or hospital bill. Where lies the peace and safety? It is Nana, the hustle. As I'm talking to you, I'm an electrical engineer. Mm-hmm. I do have to start doing the wiring for people. But nowadays, the people don't even have the money to call it for the job. It's more like I have the work in my hand. And I go around people who are building and I do great work. But nowadays, the money is not there for the people to even call you for the job. I have 2 children with a wife. How are we surviving? Those people who come here, those who are making it are the favorite of the politicians. Let me make it clear. They are the favorite of the police. Those who can pass through the kululu and other things, and then the corruption and all that, they are the ones making it. They will come from wherever they come with the invitation of these big men, so-called big men, and then they will come and do their own thing. And then this. It is not like we don't want to do the menial job. I chisel walls and I pass pipe, but now it is, where is it? So, there's no peace and safety in this country.
Thank you very much. That was interesting and engaging. Now, recently I was in London, right? I was in Tesco's. And just behind me was some big route. Giddy, 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 giddy. Adaya. This guy wanted to buy 6 crates of eggs. And the shop says, no, you can only buy 2 crates of eggs. And in the crate were only 12 eggs, oh, not even our usual 24. And the shop says, no, you can only buy 2. And this guy said, no, I think he wanted to buy like 6 crates or something. Charlie, the hustle is real everywhere. But I'm saying we must demand excellence. Don't get me wrong, oh. I mean, can I say our situation is good? No. But I'm saying in spite of all our, ups and downs, Charlie, there is some white space on the board. Happy 15th anniversary to the Standpoint. 15 years ago, Gifty Auntie set out to set up a program to empower women. At the time, it was not conventional. 15 years today, probably the longest standing independent production running on TV, still empowering women. Say, are you cold to you? Tomorrow is exactly the day 15th birthday on the standpoint. Let's see how you could keep on keeping on. Maxwell Agbagba with his golden phone. Golden phone. Golden phone. To give you your news bulletin, Kofi Hayford has selected some serious gospel tracks here. Baby anyhow. Baby anyhow. But it was wonderful, it was engaging, and I thank you so much. Those who agreed, those who disagreed, you make the show rich. As for me, I say until the lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. My name is Nana Ansah Kwao IV, Chief of the Little Republic of Akwemwe Dumasa. And next Monday, God willing, we will be back to do this all over again.